Okay, we're back for the quarterfinals. Eala's playing again. She is taking on the Italian unseeded player Fossa Huergo. So we're going to go with that. Unless somebody can help me. So Eala is one of two seeds remaining. The other seed that is still left in the draw is Arango. She's playing right now against Day. So Eala is the favorite to win this title. I think we can safely say that. Up the top, you've got Udvardi and Kossareva. Udvardi, by the way, did play Eala on clay courts, I believe. Didn't we watch them play on clay in a challenger earlier in the year? So we could get a rematch in the final. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, so Eala taking on Huergo. Let's talk about Huergo for a second. She's currently 30 years old. Career high ranking of 256 in the world, but she's currently 262. So she has an opportunity to get a career high ranking, I think, this week. So that's good for her. She went to the Arizona State University. That's where she played her college tennis for the Sun Devils. And plays for Italy. Is Italian, plays for Italy. Born and plays for Italy. She's actually had a decent doubles record over the years. She's got 10 ITF double titles. Only the one ITF singles title, which actually was last year on clay in Italy. And yeah. So, I know that people, I know that some people, again, are not into watching Eala, but I tell you, we're watching players and learning about things on the lower level of things. It just kind of puts it into perspective. We're watching one end of the spectrum. We're watching Sabalenka Pegula at the very top of the top, playing for the biggest trophy in the history of tennis, one of the biggest trophies. And then we're watching this, where we're seeing like a player who's 30 years old, 250 in the world is their best ranking, right? And that's the reality of most players, right? I mean, a player that's, been grinding it for years, so it's kind of interesting to just kind of put things in perspective. We've got players like Sabalenka and Pegula who have reached the top and they're, at the top. And then players that are of a similar age that are grinding it through the challenges still and getting through a day, week to week, right? And not having that same glory. It's just kind of, it's interesting. I find it very interesting to kind of, it's one thing to watch like, a young player coming through the challenges, but to watch someone who's 30 years old, who's been playing this level of tournament most of their career and trying to make it, right? It's kind of, I don't know, it's interesting. Yeah. Tennis players on a journey. Yeah. It's like, the journey men and the journey women of the tour, right? We're watching a lot more of them because we're watching Eala play these events. So I find it really interesting, And they get a chance, when they do play Eala, they get a chance to make a name for themselves or be recognized, and we're recognizing them by watching Eala, right? We're watching Eala, but we're getting to watch the opponents she plays. So, yeah. It's nice to give them praise. Yeah, exactly. And just kind of learn a little bit about these players that we would never know, we'd never watch because they're not playing the slams and they're not playing the big tournaments. So, yeah, it's nice to kind of get a bit of watch some different players, different names, Okay, here we go. They're going to be out on court any second. And then we are going to get things going. Eala just came off playing, an hour ago? So let's see if she can keep going. I don't think it's going to be too, I don't think she'll be too tired, right? Grab a coffee. It's 4:20 in the morning in Philippines. That's it. We have an announcement on the screen. It's happening. What, this match is happening? Yes. This match is definitely happening. tennis needs money. Alex had her chances playing 1000s as a wild card because she is a member of IMG. Some players don't have that opportunity. Yeah, obviously that's the reality of things too. Not everyone's going to get the same opportunities, for sure. That's just how it works. I mean, not everyone's going to... There's no straight line between starting a tennis career and getting to a Grand Slam. It's like this, right? Everyone has a totally different path. No one has the same path, Do I sleep? Sometimes. Just wake up early enough for Alex? Yep. Expected suitable rest is 30 minutes. Well, yep. That was about 30 an hour. Yep. Eala's playing again today. Quarterfinals. And then she'll play the semis tomorrow. And then the final will be on Saturday. I'm guessing. Complaining about a tennis player getting a wild card from the Philippines. Yeah. Yeah, look, if you ever have a problem with someone getting a wild card, you take it up with the tournament because the tournaments are the one that give them out. The players have nothing to do with wild cards. They don't go... They can ask for one, but they don't... I mean, even Stan Wawrinka asked for one, and he didn't get one, right? And he won the title in the US. So talk to the tournaments if you don't like how they give wild cards out. It's not Eala's fault that she got a wild card. But look, why do I have to defend Eala? I'll do it anyway. Eala had many wild cards, a couple of wild cards. But she also was grinding out on the challenges in the qualies. So it's not like Eala just got like, oh well, she gets represented by this company, so then that way she got a wild card. It's like, yeah, but she didn't get like 20 wild cards. This time last year, Eala was playing in this same tournament. She lost in Guadalajara. She played the US Open, lost in the third round of qualifying, and then played this event, lost in the second round. And then played the Guadalajara 500, made through the qualies, lost in the first round of that, and then played qualies pretty much entire Asian swing, and then played a couple of challenger events as well to end the year. So again, it's like, I know Eala's like blown up this year, and she's still, she's still young, so it's like, oh, she's just getting here. But last year, Eala was grinding. She has played, she was going through the qualies of the Grand Slams and not getting through. She was going through the qualies of the 1000s and not getting through. Eala, I'm looking last year, right? Australian Open, lost first round qualies. Miami, first round quali loss. Madrid, she got a wild card. And maybe there's a Rafa Nadal Academy connection, right? With Madrid and Rafa and her being there, right? Maybe that's... But she won the first match and then lost the second. So she got one wild card. She didn't qualify for Roland Garros. She didn't play Rome. She didn't play anything else. That was it. She was challenging on the challenger circuit other than that. She went through the qualies of Wimbledon, didn't qualify. She played Nottingham, didn't qualify. She played the US Open, didn't qualify. Didn't play Cincy, didn't play Canada, didn't get a chance to do that. Didn't get a chance to be at the Olympics, right? Because her ranking wasn't high enough. So she didn't get a chance to play that. And then she just was grinding on the challenger circuit in the qualies. So again, that's crazy. She got one wild card last year, and she won a match. And then she got a wild card in Miami this year, right? So that was... Did she get a wild card in Miami? Yeah, she did, right? Because Miami must have No, you know what? She earned it because she went through and she was winning. She made it through... Where are we? So she won it. She made the semifinals of Canberra at the start of the year. She made the semifinals of Dubai at the end of last year. She made the quarterfinals at another tournament last year. At the end of last year, she made a couple of runs, a little bit of runs between the Australian Open where she lost in the first round of qualies. And then, she got a wild card. I don't know why she got a wild card. Maybe it was they saw her and they're like, oh, maybe we should give this person a chance. I don't know how Miami, how James Blake in Miami kind of picked Eala. I don't know what the thought process was. Maybe they saw her play and they're like, oh, she's really fun. We should give her a chance. Maybe she asked for one. I don't know. But she got the wild card and she ran with it. She made the quarters or the semis, and that one run has now allowed her to play all these other tournaments, right? And now it's allowed her to be a WTA top 100, consistently playing player, I would be really interested to know why, like what the process was like picking Eala for that. And somebody did say IMG or whatever. Maybe it does have something to do with that. Maybe there was like a, the Miami Open was like, okay, well, who should we give wildcards to? And they're like, hey, we represent this person. Maybe you should give them a chance. Maybe it did have something to do with that. But again, that's not Eala's fault. It's not Eala's fault that she's represented by someone. Like they've obviously see something in her. So yeah. But again, 12 months ago, Eala was grinding and has been still grinding. I mean, even after Miami, she went straight back to the challenges and was grinding on that. She was grinding there. And then she'd go to, she went like second week of Wimbledon. She was playing challenges. Second week of the US Open. She's here, right? Why is she here? She's here, right? Yeah, she qualified for Eastbourne, made the final, right? That obviously helped as well. But you know what? Yeah. So I'm going to always be like, dismiss anyone who's thinking that Eala is like lucky or getting wildcards and getting all these freebies, because that's not true at all. That wasn't her first wildcard in Miami. Oh, okay. So she must have got did she get a wildcard from Miami? I know she had a wildcard from Madrid for a few years, which kind of makes sense if there's that Rafa Nadal Academy kind of, because you can put two and two together, right? You go, okay, well, she was at the Academy. Obviously, Madrid's in Spain. Rafa's Spanish. Maybe, Feli Lopez went from Madrid and he went to the Rafa Academy. He goes, is there any young players we should give a wild card to? And they're like, yeah, this, Filipino lady, we should give her a chance. Okay, we'll give her a chance. Like, you can understand where they probably would have, why she got one in Madrid, right? She was at the right place, right time, or something like that, right? Being at the Academy. I don't think she got one for Miami, though, the year before. Did she? Maybe she did. Madrid 2023. So she got a wild card in 2023 Madrid, wild card in 2024 Madrid. She had to have a wild card this year because her ranking wasn't up high enough. She did get a wild card into the qualifiers last year of Miami. She beat Irani and then lost to Arango, who she might have to play in the semis. So she got a wild card to the qualies last year. And then she obviously got a wild card into the main this year. But again, I don't know, IMG owned Miami Madrid. Okay, well then maybe it is like the people that represent her were able to help a little bit. But again, it doesn't guarantee it. She didn't get a wild card to the Grand Slam. She's not getting wild cards at every single event. She's not playing, right? It's not like she's like, I'll just get a wild card. Like, she's not sitting around waiting for wild cards, right? She's still working, right? So yeah, I'm not going to entertain that. She's lucky and she did. She got a little bit of luck because she got represented, but she gets a couple of chances and she's made the most of those chances. But I mean, she's worked her way to this point. She got a wild card in 2021 Madrid, Miami. Wait, Miami? Why? Really? I didn't see that. Maybe I didn't go far enough. No, she didn't. She played the qualies. What are you talking about? She got a wild card into the qualies. So she got a wild card into the qualify. Oh no, she got a wild card in 2022 Miami. Okay, so it's in the middle. Yeah, she lost to Brengel. So she did get a wild card there. Yeah. But IMG don't own every tournament. Otherwise, But again, wild cards are given to players for a certain reason. They're not just like throwing her out there. They're not just, you just get a wild card because you're just whatever. Like, they obviously give wild cards for certain reasons. But again, take it up with the tournament. Arango was where Eala cramped up. Oh, was it? Okay. More information, I understand better. Nice. Yeah. Again, I don't know if this is the I'm just guessing, right? I don't know. I'm just like trying to figure it out. But it might be wrong. It might be totally off, and it has nothing to do with anything. It's just like, they just James Blake woke up and said, and saw Alex Eala one day practicing and said, we should give her a wild card. She seems like she's pretty competitive. Like, I don't know. You know? But the thing is, you can get a wild card and lose first round, right? And then if you and again, I mean the tournaments are going to give wild cards to Grand Slam champions and former champions and players that, they're going to do that, right? That's just normal. Like Venus is going to get wild cards for the rest of time because it's Venus Williams, right? But for a young player like Eala, right, giving her a wild card, if she doesn't do well, they're going to give it to somebody else. Like, they're not going to just be like, oh yeah, we're going to, because like, a wild card to young players is like to give them an investment, right? You're investing in that person to hope that person becomes really good, or that person goes on a run like Eala did, right? That's the wild card return of investment for that one is crazy, right? Because look how many people, jumped onto that, that story and was so amazed by how good, this amazing run. I mean, I think Tennis Channel just put out like an interview with Eala last week, and it's just like blown up, and so. But sometimes she'll lose first round. She wouldn't have got wild card next year if she had lost first round, probably, because they would have been like, well, we tried and we didn't do anything. So so they don't, and then she'd have to go back and grind and try and make it her own way. And Eala would have done that eventually, I reckon. Anyway, if she was 150 in the world, she still would have been playing these events, and eventually, we've seen how good she is. Eventually, she would have made it. But she just got that wild card in Miami. Well, she repaid the tournament for their trust in her, right? And now we're here. But she's still playing Guadalajara when, she doesn't have to be here. She could have taken the week off and gone and played, the Asian swing. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know if any of what I just said is correct. I don't know. I'm just playing best guess. Just trying to figure it out like everybody else. 15-0. I'm going to go Eala in straights because I have no idea what Fossa Huergo is going to do. But I'm going to say Eala. I don't think Eala is going to be tired after the 10 minutes she played today. As Eala double faults 15-30. Now, Huergo is a right-handed 30-year-old Italian player who has been playing for the most part of her career in this type of event. I'll go through her career because I love talking about the opposition of, especially on this lower level of tour. We don't get to watch these players, And when we do watch these players, it's usually Sabalenka versus one of these players, and by the time we talk about them, it's over. So, we get an opportunity here to learn about a different player that we wouldn't usually, get to watch because they're not playing Grand Slams every tournament or every week, or they're not playing, they're not playing the highest level of tournament every single day. 40-30. By the way, Huergo just beat Carver, the Polish player, number 7 seed, in the previous round. So, good 3-set win there. That was yesterday. As Eala serves, 40-30. Backhand return goes into the backhand of Eala. Huergo forehand into the forehand of Eala. Into the backhand of Huergo as Eala forehand again. Into the forehand of Huergo as Eala with a backhand cross-court again is a winner. It's 1-love Eala. All right, so Nicole Fossa Huergo from Italy. She has played. Wow, this is actually the highest ranked player she's ever played. She has played only 2 players in the top 100 in her entire career. Gadetsky, that was this year in Rome, and this year in Rabat against Rus. So she is having, and again, at 30 years old, is having the best year of her career. Or at least she's playing against the best players of her career. Eala, 75 in the world currently, is the highest ranked player she's ever played on the main WTA. Some of the players that she has played that were maybe lower ranked before, they kind of took off. She has played Paulina Kudermetova before. She lost that match a couple of years ago. She did play Jean, the French woman, as well. She's taken on Carlet a couple of years ago as well, who has kind of broken into top 100 in recent times. Stojanovic, the Serbian player, she played her a few years ago. She's obviously playing Eala now. Her best win is actually against was against Carver. I mean, she literally just had the best win of her career by ranking, 118 in the world against Carver. So, again, we're watching Fossa Huergo in the best form of, or the best situation of her career. So, there you go. She's playing the best ever. She has made finals of challenger events. She did make a final of a challenger event last year on clay. Lost in that. It was actually an ITF. Won W35, which is one of the lower level of events. She has won she didn't win that event, but she made the final. She didn't make a final. Oh, sorry. She made a final and then won one of the events. So she has that title to her name. But more clay, as you'd expect from someone from sort of Europe playing the clay. A lot of clay results. You would say, yeah, again, clay would be her favorite surface. 30 love as Eala with the forehand. Goes long and it's 40 love. But yeah. There is this short bio. Any questions, feel free to ask. All right. 40 love. Actually, let me have a look at the live rankings because I'm sure both fans of both players want to know what the ranking's going to be. So Eala currently is 70 in the world in the live rankings. If she does win today, she will go up to number 68. And if she does win the tournament, she could go as high as 62, which would be almost her career high. She was in the top 60 a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago. So if she does, she's already back up to 70. She's gone 5 spots up. And Huergo, Fossa Huergo is currently ranked number 268. She's gone up 12 spots. And if she wins today, and this is where things like these tournaments are so valuable. If you make a semi-final of this tournament and you're ranked 270 in the world, you can go up the rankings a lot. So she's almost at career high ranking. If she does win this match, she will be at a career high ranking. So, chat, just to put this in perspective, we all know about Eala, but Fossa Huergo, if she beats Eala, not only does she get a semi-final of a 125 event, she gets the biggest win of her career by ranking, her first top 100 win against a top 100 player in her career, but also she'll be at a career high ranking. So that's what she's playing for right now. That's a lot of pressure, and you've got to beat Eala, who is in 2025 one of the hottest players going around, right? People are going crazy for her, right? So yeah, that's what she's trying to do. At 30 years old, after grinding out the tournaments for years and years, the opportunity at 30 years old to get the biggest win of your career, first top 100 win, and a career high ranking, all on one match, and a semi-final of a 125. I mean, that is, and it might not seem big because we're going to be watching semi-finals of Grand Slams in about an hour or 2 hours, but for somebody who's been playing that long, this is a huge match. This is a Grand Slam final for Huergo, right? This is a huge chance for her and a huge opportunity. All right, love 30. And I'm sure the reaction will be if she does win, it will be of a Grand Slam. We'll see the same reaction today when Osaka or Anisimova make the final of the US, right? Or even Pegula or Sabalenka, right? Love 30. As a return now from Huergo goes to the front of Eala. Huergo backhand on the stretch for the slice. And it's Eala backhand to the front of Huergo. And Eala backhand down the middle. Huergo with a slice in the net, and it's 15:30. Yeah, semifinals are tomorrow, by the way. All right. 15:30. Serve. Is a fault from Eala. Second serve. Is there a decent crowd there? No. I can count the amount of people there. There's probably about 7 people. As that forehand goes off the tape from Eala and is a winner. 30-all. Yeah, there's no one there. But that's the reality, right? Even when we watch, 250s or even, 500 events play, sometimes the crowds aren't there. But this is court number 1, so it's the second court. The center court is they're not playing on center court. So they're not playing on center court. They're playing in a 125 event. And, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to guess that a couple of those people are probably the coaches of the players too, right? As Eala double faults in a 30-40. But that's the reality. Last week, you're playing in front of a full stadium in the US Open. And then you go into Mexico playing Guadalajara in front of your friends and couple of family, your coaches, and the people you pay to be there, and a couple of people that walked past and said, I might watch this. That's the reality of tennis. At this level. 400 rally. There's a bit of backhand now from Huergo. That's a good backhand, and then Eala puts it long. 2-1. Huergo breaks. And again, it just puts things in perspective, right? Most players are playing this is the reality for most tennis people. You don't get to play on you don't get to, only a few players get to play on the center court every match, right? In Wimbledon, right? And even then, some of the best players in the world don't get to play center court every day. All right. Is she playing on grandstand? No, no, Eala is not. No. Hey, what's up, Jock? How you doing? Eala's serve really does her bad and hopes improve. Oh, look, she'll improve. And that's probably why she's playing these events, right? She's playing these events because this is an opportunity for her to and I mean, we're not really helping, but to practice in private. You know what I mean? The tennis world is not focusing on it. It's we're focusing on it, but the tennis world is focusing on the US Open. So she can go play Guadalajara and, go practice, get the serve right, try and figure out what's wrong, what's going on. Also to get matches, right? Because, you play one bad match or 2 bad matches. What happens when you're serving well, and you get, something like this, right? She's got 3 matches this week. She had 3 matches. If she loses this match, she's had 3 matches. So then she can, review the tape, figure out what went wrong, what went right. You can't really do that if you're losing first rounds of these big tournaments all the time, right? Whose serve is worse, Coco or Eala? I think Gauff's serve does her dirty more. I think it hurts her more. I don't think it's worse. They've both got good serves. It's just that they're both. It's not as good as it needs to be, right? They could be better. But I think the thing is, chat. What do you? Whose serve worse? I don't want to use the word worse. I think Gauff's serve definitely has hurt her more. Eala's serve hasn't been the reason she's lost matches. She's lost matches because of inexperience, injury or, fatigue or whatever. I don't think Eala's serve is the reason why she's lost matches. Whereas Gauff, we're like, ooh, Gauff's lost matches because of her serve. And big matches, so it makes, the stakes are higher. Eala losing second round of the US Open doesn't matter that much. Yet. Right? So I'd say Gauff. I think Gauff's serve has been worse for her than Eala's serve has been for her. 30 love. But that could change in 6 months. Gauff's serve is... she got the serving coach. So give it 3 to 6 months and we'll see how that looks, By the way, apparently the Six Kings Slam is going to be on Netflix. So now I'm going to have to get Netflix. They reel me back in. Just when I thought I was out, they reel me back in. Oh, Netflix, you got me. I'm like, no, I'm not getting Netflix until Stranger Things comes out. Tennis? But what about the tennis? You want to watch tennis, don't you? Damn it. You got me. All right, fine. I'll give you more money. All right, 30 love. As that goes out by Eala, 40 love. Kind of a big deal, though. I mean, on Netflix, holy shit. Oh, that's a big deal. I think it's only going to be the second tennis event live on Netflix, too. Because it was that Rafa Slam and now this, right? Rafa, the Vegas thing. What was it called? The Netflix Slam. All right, 40 love. That goes to the net from Eala, 3-1. I was going to time it right. When does Stranger Things come out? November. Oh no. They've got me. They tricked me. So I'm gonna have to pay for Netflix for pretty much 3 months. Damn it. I was hoping to try and pay for a month and get cover everything. Damn it. This is how they get you. Love 15. I'm gonna need to get it for October, November, and December. Damn it. Because Stranger Things is going over to... Damn it. It ruined my plans. I was going to try and get Netflix for 1 month starting at the end of November to try and cover Stranger Things and then just get rid of it. Now I'm going to play 3 months. They must be watching. Anyways. Love 15 as that goes out by Huergo, 15-all. Oh, man. All right. 15-all. All right, first serve the fault, second serve. $1.5 million for each showing up, and people saying Draper might pull out. His arm would have to be hanging off. Yeah, Draper's going to play. Draper just has to rock up, play first match, and yeah, if he looks terrible, yeah. I mean, Draper not playing the Six King Slam would be crazy. That would be crazy. 15:30. By the way, chat, it's so funny watching this event and just hearing the construction because I'll give you a little insight into these events, or a little context about this event and next week, which is the same venue. As that goes in there by Eala, 15:40. So next week there's a 500 event, which used to be a 1,000 event for Guadalajara. It was kind of a two or 3 years. It was a 1,000 event because it was taking the place of the Asian Swing, which wasn't allowed to go there because there was that virus that happened, if everybody remembers. And Guadalajara took its place, right? And then Wuhan and Beijing came back, so they went, well, Guadalajara, we don't need another one. We'll downgrade Guadalajara to 500. Now they've got a 125, which is this. So this is like the warm-up event for that event, kind of, I guess, maybe. Maybe not a warm-up, but you can just hear all the construction because they're building to the big event next week, right? Next week is the big event. So they're building marquees and stands and, building facilities for the patrons next week. So it's really funny. 30-40 is with a backhander from Eala. Goes long. It's a double break for Huergo. 4-1. It's really funny to watch this. It's dead quiet because there's not that many people, but then you just hear all the construction going on and you're like, oh yeah, because they're building all the facilities for next week, which is the main event. This is like the preview, this is like the preliminary event. Next week's the main event, when the world's going to be watching, and it's going to be the big, 500 is a big event, right? But it's just funny hearing all the preparations going on around, just hearing all those people hammering nails and with drills, and you're just, oh yeah, they're building the tournament for next week, because you don't hear that when the tournament's gone. You don't hear at the US Open people building, right? You don't hear construction, But today we're hearing all the construction noise because they're trying to build up for next week, you know? Because next week is the main event for them. So it's kind of funny. I think it's funny. 4-1. Maybe Ella is in next week too. No, I don't think she's playing this tournament next week. I think she's playing something else next week. But yeah. I feel like a lot of chat put money on Eala, which they shouldn't have. She was too big of a favorite. Going to start complaining. Well, I hope not, because it's never the player's fault for your betting habits. Big seeds have really underperformed in this tournament, yeah. Well, again, we talked about this yesterday, right? Guadalajara is high up, right? It's high altitude, and that takes time to adjust. Now, most of the players that have lost, right, the seeds, right, that have lost, all played the US Open. So they're going from New York to here, right? And I wonder whether, and even the qualifiers, right? You know, obviously not everybody played the main draw. You know, Jones played the qualifying, right? But still going from New York and then coming to here and playing at high altitude, that's an adjustment. Whereas some of these players, Huergo maybe, for example, didn't play in the US Open last week. So she might have got here a week earlier to get used to it. Something to consider, right? Now, that would have been great information at the start of the week if I had known that. You could have been like, well, if you told me all the seeds were going to lose, I could have made $1 million. Well, I'm sorry. That's not you should have done your research, and thought about these things. But yeah, Huergo last week didn't play. So you got to think that she didn't play the qualities of the US Open. She played Monterrey before the US Open a couple of weeks ago, but then she would have come here and maybe practiced for a week, got used to this weather, and then Eala's coming from New York to here, And I'm not making an excuse for Eala here. I'm just saying, like, in general, all the seeds, the players that played in New York had less time to get ready, get used to these conditions compared to some of the players that are beating them, Like Carver, for example, played in the US Open qualifiers. Lost first round, but she played in the qualies. So she went from New York to Guadalajara. Now, did she go straight away? Maybe she did, but she was playing the qualies. Now, she could have gotten here last week and played and practiced. So maybe there's no excuse there. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she stuck around New York. I don't know. But that's something to kind of think about as well. Go, okay, well, the conditions are pretty tricky, or at least the high altitude does mess with players. And if you're coming from somewhere that's not high altitude and you're not used to it, and you play someone who's been here for a week, it's going to make a difference, right? Your opponent's going to feel more comfortable. Also, Fossa Huergo is as we found out earlier, is a bit of a clay courter. So she's going to have probably more of a gas tank. She's going to have more of a defensive, type of game, and she's going to have more stamina. Just as a general, because she's a clay court player. 30-0. Yeah, they're trying to get one of these breaks back. $30-0. As Huergo serves again. Into the back of Eala. Huergo forehand on the stretch goes long. Eala's got a break back point. 30-40. 30-40. Guadalajara is high altitude, but less than Bogota. I think. I did a chart and I can't remember where I saved it. I tried to work this out because I was bored to see what tournaments were the highest altitude. I think Guadalajara and Madrid were the two highest ones. They were the two highest altitude events. Which again, affects players in different ways. 30-40. As return goes in the backhand from Eala. And then Huergo hits a wide and Eala gets a break back. 4-2. 4-2. I remember when Jones was wheelchaired off a court earlier this year because of the altitude in South America. Yeah, see, it does mess with players for sure. It can really, really mess people up. All right, 4-2. My take is that clay quarters and counterpunches are Eala's kryptonite. Look, I mean, I think, yeah, maybe not the clay quarters are kryptonite. I think it's more she thrives against big hitters. When she's not the one going for the shots and she's the one who's defending and she can play that counterpunching game, that's where she thrives. But as soon as she has to try and, make her own power and like Buksha, for example, when she played Buksha, right, that was a massive. We saw her play Towson, who was going for her shots, and then Eala was scrambling. And then we saw her play Buksha, who was doing the opposite, where she was basically scrambling, and Eala had to be the bigger hitter, and that didn't work, right? I think that's, what you're saying, we're saying the same thing, basically. Just opposite sides of it, right? Same, but different. 15 love. But we've noticed that, when she's playing someone who hits it hard, she definitely, Eala is better at reacting and better at defending and counterpunching. But when she plays someone that is like her, like Pegula in Miami, for example, or, Buksha last week, right? Yeah, she doesn't seem to want to be that player. She wants to be the player who's going after it, right? And being, reacting to what her opponent does. She doesn't want to be the one that's, she doesn't want to be Sabalenka. She doesn't want to be Ostapenko. She wants to be, kind of like a Pegula, more like Pegula. I think that's probably the better. I think her game is more suited to more like Pegula's game. Even Gauff, maybe more like Gauff as well, where Gauff's Gauff can be aggressive, but she just does her best work when she's running side to side and defending like crazy. Gauff has a great defensive game. All right, 30-15. But again, we're still learning. We're watching. We're learning about players all the time, right? We don't know what their games are going to evolve into and how they're going to get better. 30-15. Eala serves the forehand of Huergo. Backhand of Eala. Cross-court winner. All right, 40-15. Yeah, I don't think she plays her best when she's trying to generate her own pace. Exactly. She's better when she's the one using the power of her opponents, right? And if I look at her record this year again, her best wins have come against, except for maybe Swiatek. The Swiatek one was weird, but remember, Swiatek in March was in a different mental space than she has been lately. So it's still a great win, but in Swiatek in March was not, she was vulnerable, and there was opportunities for a lot of people to beat her, right? As Eala holds, and it's 4-3 Huergo. So Eala's best wins this year, right? So she's beaten Swiatek, she's beaten Keys, Towson, Ostapenko twice, Yastremska, which kind of goes under the radar, but that was a pretty good win against Yastremska. 1-2 against Yastremska. That's pretty damn good. And all of those players are very similar, right? They're aggressive. They go after it. Then Yastremska, when she's playing her best, she's the one hitting winners, right? Obviously, we know about Penko. Keys is the same. Towson's the same. It would have been really cool to see her play Badosa in Miami, but unfortunately, Badosa couldn't play. But that would have been interesting because Badosa's in that mold, right? She's in that same mold. The Swiatek win was great, and then Swiatek got the one back in Madrid. But she's her best losses, or her highest ranked losses, lost to Pegula, right? We all know how good defensively Pegula is. She lost to Krejcikova, and she's a strange one because Krejcikova is not really a defender, but she's sort of like an all rounder. So that's that's strange. But she did lose to Kostyuk, who's a massive hitter, and that was a pretty bad loss. She lost to Lynette, Joint, Vondrousova, and Arango. Now, some of those were on clay, and Buksha, and some of those were on clay. So we've got to remember that clay's not really, she's not great on clay yet, Eala. But yeah, Lynette is more of a defender and a bit of a grinder. Joint. I mean, we're still learning about Joint. Vondi's obviously defensive. Buksha's defensive. Arango's a clay courter. Majority clay court. And Kostruk's the only player that's like big hitting that she's lost to. So again, there's a bit of a pattern, right? Anyways, 4-3. But she doesn't play as well against she's played better against these type of players and not these type. Anyways, 15 love as Eala hits that one out. Oh, me. As Huergo serves again. As the return goes into the forehand of Huergo. Forehand from Eala down the line is wide. And that is the perfect example. That was the exact thing we were talking about. Huergo was just like, I'm going to just go back with the forehand, into your forehand, just go back, I'm just going to rally. And Eala tried to hit a winner, and she missed it. So that's exactly what we're just talking about. How Eala rather play against players that are making her run than her have to stand there and go, okay, what do I do with this mid ball? What am I going to do with this? But she'll get better at that, right? She'll realize, oh no, I don't need to go for a winner. I can just rally. We're just in a rally. 30 love. As the backhand return goes wide by Eala, and it's 40 love. 40 love. Eala's backhand is the main weapon. It can be more agile than... If it can be more agile, then she can break more. Yeah, I think her backhand's probably more solid than her forehand. And then her serve. Her net game, she's trying to get better in there. She plays some doubles, right? Trying to get some more net play, but yeah. Again, the thing with Eala is that she's still a work in progress, right? 4-15. Yes, she had a great run in Miami. Yes, the entire world, tennis world, have talked about her, but she's not finished, right? She's still she's not perfect, right? She's still got improvements. And that's what she's working on by playing these tournaments, right? That's why she's playing these tournaments. Because she obviously knows that she's got work to do and improvement to do. But she's had it's been a great year for her, right? She has that great win in her first US Open. Well, her first win at a Grand Slam was that a great comeback. I mean, crazy, right? She's had some great top 20 wins this year. The Miami run was crazy. She made a final of a 250 where she nearly won it. So she's ticked a lot of boxes for sure. As that forehand goes long by Huergo and we get the deuce. If she wins this title, that'd be great. Great. Another little milestone. Another milestone. I shouldn't say little. It's a milestone. So yeah, it's been a very successful year. As that goes out in the return from Eala, it's advantage Huergo. And I know, because I always get asked, why are you watching Eala and why don't you watch Maya Joint, right? One, because I don't watch Aussies, and when I watch Aussies, it hurts my heart, so I don't want to watch them. Did you watch me watch Demon Oil yesterday? Yeah, exactly. But when we're talking about young player of the year or best player, like newcomer of the year, I think Joint has to be that. I mean, on Boko maybe, but Joint is probably going to be on that list. 19-year-old from Australia, because she's got 2 titles and 2 different surfaces as well. But the thing that Joint doesn't have, that Eala has, is top 10 wins or top 20 wins. 20 in the world is the highest ranked player that Joint has beaten this year. She beat Vekic at the start of the year. So Joint has the trophies, but Eala's got the big wins. So that's the big difference, right? If you beat a top 10 player on a big stage, everyone's going to talk about it like you won a trophy. But if you win a 250 event, most people are going to not realize that, right? Not going to see that. So, it's funny because they both had breakout seasons, right? For different reasons, And yeah, Joint probably should get more recognition, but because she's not, she hasn't had a big win at a significant event, right? And I'm talking 1000s or Grand Slams yet. It's just, like if she beats, Coco Gauff in Wuhan, then Joint's probably going to get a lot more recognition. But because she hasn't had that yet, and Eala has had that multiple times this year, that's a big difference to whether or not some people pay attention to you, right? That's definitely a part of it. So Joint's beaten Vekic, Haddad-Maia, Fernandez, and Raducanu. Now, she beat Raducanu in Eastbourne, but again, it was in Eastbourne, a 250 event. Or maybe it was a 250? 500, 250. If you beat Raducanu at Wimbledon, that's a whole different thing, right? That's a whole different level of people paying attention and going, oh, wait, hang on, I should pay attention to this 19-year-old. Even if it's Raducanu and not, but still, Raducanu at Wimbledon is a huge win. All right, Eala hits a winner, 15-30. So that's it. Because it's fun to, and I mean, look, and then you've got Mboko, who's done both, right? And I know only recently, right? If maybe 2 months ago, Mboko, we wouldn't have been talking about as much in this same trio. But Mboko's won a big trophy, and she's beaten big names. So Mboko's got to be Young Player of the Year, right? That goes out by Eala, 15-40. But I love that there's those three players. And there's obviously more. Andreeva's still there. Right? She's obviously younger than all of them and doing better. But, it's fun to go, okay, there's Eala, there's Joint, there's Mboko. And watching those three, and especially as an Australian, it's great to have an Australian in that mix. But those three players feel like, and with Andreeva, right, the next gen, right? Noskova is also in that mix. Noskova feels like she's been around forever because she played Serena in a doubles match 3 years ago in the US Open, but she also has got big wins at she beat Swiatek at the Australian Open in 2023 as an 18-year-old. Noskova, I thought Noskova was 23, but yeah, she's only 20. So Noskova's in that mix as well. But those five players, Andreeva, Mboko, Noskova, Joint, and Eala. And I mean, you could chuck Gauff in there as well if you want, but Goff's been around for so long, it doesn't feel like she's part of that same class or generation, right? As Eala hits a winner and saves the set point, deuce. But yeah, those five players, they're all the five players. I mean, obviously, Eala people are already watching. Mboko people are paying attention now. Andreeva people have been watching for years. Noskova and Joint are sort of the ones that don't get as much recognition yet. But those are the five players that five young players. And Jovic is coming through too, a 17-year-old from America. So they're like the six players that should be on your radar if you want to pay attention to WTA. And know who's next. Who's next? Well, those six players, one of those players might be next. Andreeva is obviously in the lead. But yeah, those are the six players that right now everyone should pay attention to. All right. As it goes out by Huergo, and it's advantage Eala. Advantage Eala. To make Huergo serve the set. Oh yeah, Valentova as well. That's true. She doesn't. She's not as high ranked yet. But yeah, we watched Valentova the other day. As Eala holds and it's 5-4 Huergo. Yeah, we watched Valentova the other day. She was very impressive. So yeah, she's definitely add her to the list too. Yeah, God, it kind of feels like the WTA would have a pretty decent next gen finals. Come on, how do they not have one? You could literally just tack it on with the men's. Go to Saudi Arabia, pick the 8 best young players, and you know what, Chad? How about this? You got the next gen men's finals, you got the next gen ladies finals, and then make them play mixed doubles for no reason. Have a mixed doubles fun exhibition for $1 million. The best young players playing mixed doubles together too. Why not? I'll go one better. Then Netflix can show it play it on Netflix. Then put it on Netflix. Anyways, 5-4. You're welcome. I just created a great event. What is the final score of this match? It's still going. It's 5-4 Huergo, first set. Eala's got a break to get back in it. Now, Huergo was up 4-1. And Eala has fought back this far. So let's see if she can keep it going as that goes in the net on the rear turn from Eala. And it's 15-love. Love. Now we got a fault from Huergo, second serve. And Huergo serves again. Double fault, 15-all. 15-all. Serve again. Is that another double fault? 15-30. Chance for Eala to break back. Maybe. Possibly. As the serve goes in the front of Eala, return is shanked, but it goes long. 30-all. All right, 30-all. As the return goes in the front of Huergo. Point out from Eala. Into the front of Huergo as Eala forehand on the attack. Huergo with a backhand goes wide. And it's 30-40. Break point for Eala to get back on serve. $30-40. As the return goes in the forehand of Huergo. Back into Eala to the forehand of Huergo. She shanks it wide. All right, 5-5. Eala breaks back. Chat, what did I say at the start of this match? Or the end of the last match? Guaranteed epic matches with Eala. At least most of the time. She, like 75% of the time, she plays an epic all the time. Right? All right, 5-5. Back on serve. She's down a double break. 5-all. The return goes in the backhand of Eala, and she hits the backhand down the line. Up goes a lob. And then Eala with a backhand volley winner. And it's 15-love. She always plays crazy games. I know, right? She's a 3-set epic queen. I know, right? 2 of her last 4 matches have been crazy. Yeah, the match that was yesterday/today was crazy. The Towson match, and then the 2 matches in between those matches were like straightforward. But Now she's playing another epic. It's like, come on now. All right. 15 love. As the Eala gets to 30 love. Return goes back into Eala. Into the 400,000. Where am I? That was 2 weeks ago. Anyways, backhand goes into the forehand of Huergo, and then a drop shot winner by Eala. 40 love. 40 love Eala. Uh, 40 love. Eala to take the lead. There's a bit of fault second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Eala. Down the line in the net. It's from Eala. It's 40-15. (40-15) to take the lead. As we go forehand now to the forehand of Huergo. Back into Eala. To the forehand of Huergo. Huergo hits it out. 6-5 Eala. She takes the lead. All right. By the way, more people are showing up. I think there's about 12 people now. Okay. 6-5. Good fight back. All right. How we doing, chat? Where are we watching from? Let me know in the chat where we're watching from. Where are we watching from? London. Nice. The UK. We've got Chicago. We've got Wales. We've got Toronto. We've got Houston in the house. Iceland. Philippines. Love that. Florida, India, Dubai, Austria, Vegas, Sydney, Iraq, Singapore, Wales. We've got Manila. We've got New York, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Philippines, Seattle. We've got Turkey in the house. New Zealand. Pennsylvania. We've got Denmark. Kuwait. 15 love. Huergo wins the first point. Iceland in the house. California. As we return now into the forehand of Huergo. Backhander from Eala. Ins long. It's 30 love. $30 love. $30 love as we return. No, it's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As a return goes out by Eala. 40 love. $40 love. There's a default. Second serve. There's a double fault. 40-15. (40-15). As with a fault, second serve. Please stop putting scores in the chat. You don't need to do that. Ron, why do you watch Eala matches? As with a serve. Into the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Huergo as Eala goes with the backhand of the forehand of Huergo. Again, the back of Eala. Eala in the net. We go to the tiebreak. We got to the tiebreak. All right, 6-0. Who's winning the tiebreak? Who you got? Who you got? This is thrilling. Yeah. I mean, that's a guarantee. Eala plays a lot of epic matches. 6-6. As with a serve from Eala. Return goes to the backhand of Eala. Backhand out from Huergo. Into the forehand of Eala. As Huergo backhand again. Into the backhand of Eala. Huergo forehand. Nope. Eala hit it long. 1-love Huergo. 1-0 Huergo. Cam, you look bored and sleepy? Nope. You need a coffee? Well, give me $5. Get me one then. Get me a coffee. You think I need a coffee? Go buy me one. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's fine. One love. Return goes in the forehand of Huergo. Eala forehand of the forehand of Huergo. Into the forehand of Eala. Huergo forehand on the stretch. Oh, she's down, Huergo. She's all right, I think. And she went down. She hit the ball out anyway. 1-1. But yeah, that was a tough fall. 1-1. Yeah, she fell down. She tripped. She's all right. She didn't, no injury or anything, but it's always a sketchy fall when you have that. When you fall over a hard court, it's always hard. It can always be sketchy because rolling ankles is easy to do on the concrete, you know? And your feet get stuck. First serve is a let. As she says, a fault. Huergo, second serve. And there's a double fault. All right, 2-1 Eala. Double fault from Huergo. All right. 2-1. As Eala serves. Into the back of Huergo. Forehand from Eala. Into the slice of Huergo, who puts it in the net. And Eala gets to 3-1. 3-1. There's a backhand return from Huergo, the backhand of Eala. Goes cross court, the forehand of Huergo. Huergo hits it out. 4-1 Eala. 4-1. All right, 4-1. As Hugo serves again. She's serving the wrong side, though. Nope, Eala's on the wrong side. Wait, what? No, Hugo was on the wrong side. Eala was on the right side, which is the left side. The advantage side. Hugo with an ace. Four-two. Hugo. 1 second, chap. Four-two Eala. Does anyone else have an Amazon Alexa and it just randomly plays the radio at 7:25 in the morning? Thought people were in my house. People were talking. What the hell is this noise? Anyways, volley goes out by Hugo and it's 5-2 Eala. It's weird as hell. Who turned this on? Nobody. I'm not with that. I didn't even know it could play the radio. All right, 5-2. As it goes out by Hugo, 6-2 Eala. Sounds like a ghost. Yeah, I got like a musical ghost at my house. Probably came in that clock radio that I bought from the thrift. Anyways, return goes in the forehand of Eala. Backhand now from Hugo. Eala goes backhand cross court. Slice from Hugo. Into the back of Eala as Hugo slice again. It's a drop shot. Eala's going to get it. Hugo with a backhand pass. But Eala volleys it away. First set in the bag. 7-6 to Alex Eala. Yeah. So that's weird. Hopefully that never happens again. Hopefully it was just a mistake. A glitch. I don't need no radio playing at 7 o'clock in the morning for no reason. Joe! Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. All right. First in the bag to Eala. She was down 4-1 double break. She came back, fought back, won the tiebreak. She is up 1 set. Yeah, great comeback. All right. All right. First set in the bag. Y'all figured it out? Yeah. Maybe because I'm saying Eala, that's why. Now, chat, 1 second. Oh, okay. That's what it was. I think that's what it was. When I said Alex Eala, it thought I said Alexia or something. Mystery solved. There's no ghosts in my house. Yay. Anyways, 4-1 winner there from Hugo. No, it was Long. Love 15. Love 15. As Hugo serves again. An ace. And it's 15-0. Cam's really tired, needs some rest soon. I'm looking at my phone. I'm not tired. My eyes are wide open. I've talked about this already. We've said this already. I'm looking at my phone. My eyes are open. I'm just not looking up. But you knew that already. You just wanted me to talk to you. 15:30. Anyways, 30-0. Yeah, I think I just said a combination of words that my Amazon thought was different. Hey, Gary, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. People, thank you for the $2. That'll go towards my coffee that you owe me. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, 40-30. Here I go. Cam is refreshed. Exactly. I had like 7 hours sleep today. I was looking at my phone to figure out why my radio started with no one asking it to. 40-30. As that goes the net by Hugo, and it's deuce. I was finding out the mysteries of the world, right? Because I was concerned that my radio started without me asking it to. I just want to know, is there someone in my house or is it a ghost? Deuce. There's a 4-1 winner there from Hugo, and it's advantage Hugo. Pardon me. All right, advantage Hugo to get the game. First game of the second. Pardon me. And a fault second serve. As we had a forehand winner from Hugo, and she wins the first game of the second. One love. Are you sleepy? No. I am fine. Everything's fine. Don't even worry. Everything's fine. All right. Why is chat always floating or bullying Cam? I don't know. It's called the internet. It's a combination of everything. Australia in Eurovision is such a vibe. Yeah. We'll never win it, though. They'll never let us. They let us participate. They'll never let us win. We will never win Eurovision. The day we win Eurovision, that tournament, that competition will be the end. Or it'll be the time that they kick us out. They'll be like, we're not going to Australia. Bye. Get out of here. We came second once, and I think that was too close. We'll never win it. Because then everyone's going to come to Australia. All right, 15 love. All the European singers and countries have to come here. And then the time zones are just terrible. Like, come on. We'll never win Eurovision. They won't let us. Not that they let us anyway, but they won't vote. Nobody's going to vote for us. Even if we're the best. We won't win. 30 love. As the return goes the forehand of Eala. Backhand now from Huergo. And at the backhand of Eala, Huergo drop shot. Eala gets it with the forehand and puts it down the line for a winner. 40 love. What is Australia doing in Eurovision anyway? So, the only reason I think Australia in Euro, and I don't watch Eurovision anyway. Like I see some of like I've seen like clips of it before, but I don't watch it ever. Even with Australia in it, I don't care. I think it's because Australia, so it's like got Eurovision is like a cult following in Australia. As Eala gets the game, and it's 1-1. There's like a massive follow. Like a lot of people stay up and watch Eurovision in Australia. So I think they've given Australia like a lot of people watch it from Australia, so let's give them a chance, right? Whereas America don't watch Eurovision. And if they did, they'd probably include them maybe as well. So I think it's just because Australia, there's so many people that watch Eurovision here that they kind of just decided to include us somehow. Some reason. I think that's the only reason. Maybe there is an actual reason, but... 15 love. Huergo serves again. Big serve, and it's 30 love. 30 love. Is it a fault from Huergo? Second serve. Australia has had some quirky entries. Yeah. I mean, we had some real entries too, but the last couple of years... Again, I only like look at who's in there. And I'm like, I know who that person is, or I don't know who that person is. But, again, we'll never win. They'll never allow it. As that goes out by Eala, 40-15. They invited Australia, I think it's the 50th anniversary since they always broadcast Eurovision and have a big following, like you said. Okay, so it was also like it was an invitation. Wasn't it like a wild card? Is that how it went? Was it a wild card, the first one, and then it must have been like successful, so then they went, we'll keep you in. Like it was an invite only, right, for one time. They got extended, I think, to now like semi-permanent. Eala hits a winner, 40-30. Yeah, hit it on the nail on the head. Okay, cool, yeah. So the 50th anniversary, whatever it was. Let's say 50th anniversary because I'm not going to Google it. They bought in Australia because there's a lot of people that watch it. Yeah, has a big Europe. Like I said, people stay up all night, like I do with tennis. People do that with Eurovision, right? Crazy. Those people are crazy. So yeah, so they got invited as a one-off, but then they obviously thought it was valuable to keep them in. It would be kind of funny to have like a wild card for every Eurovision and be like, today we're going to bring in Japan. Like that would, Japan, South Korea would be like sick in Eurovision. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Can you imagine? Like K-pop and J-pop acts in Eurovision? Come on now. They need to have one. 1 year, bring in like a Brazilian act, 1 year, and then they bring in a wild card every year. Now we're reinventing Eurovision. Anyways, Deuce. Every year, they bring in like one different country. That'd be kind of sick. Anyways, maybe I'd pay attention to it. Advantage Hugo. We'll fault second serve. Ted, do you watch Eurovision? That goes out by Eala and Hugo 2-1 in the second. Are you from Melbourne? Yes. Eurovision is fun. It was fun in Switzerland last year. Okay. All right, 2-1. Hugo in the... Oh, probably in the second. Eala's on fire. This is an exciting match, though. Yeah. Now, I'm interested to see how Eala goes into if we go to a third. Because she played a lot of tennis yesterday. She played a bit this morning. And with the high altitude, you got to think that she's got to be feeling a little tired. But then again, maybe she's fine. I don't know. I didn't know that. K-pop and J-pop need to be a wildcard in the future. Then Eurovision will be even bigger in Asia. Yeah. All right. 2-1. Eurovision is very fun. It is sometimes over the top. Okay. All right, here we go. 2-1. Hugo is Eala with a great serve. 15 love. 15 love. And Eala serves again. A fault. Second serve. It's a double fault. 15 all. Would love to see Eala versus Fernandez. That'd be fun. 15 holes. Return goes into the backhand of Eala. 4 now from Hugo as Eala goes to the backhand of Hugo. And Hugo hits it long. 30-15. $30-15. As the return goes into the backhand of Eala, Hugo slicing the net, 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. As the return goes into the front of Eala, 4 now from Hugo. Into the backhand of Eala. Hugo 4 on the stretch. Goes wide. 2-0. Second set. 2-2. Cam, you looking good today? Thank you. I brushed my teeth. So, that helped. cool. By the way, in about an hour and 20 minutes, we have the semifinals. Pegula and Sabalenka first semifinal, and then Anisimova taking on Osaka straight after that. So that's fun. As that goes out by Eala, 15 love. $15 love. Serve again from Huergo. Into the backhand of Eala. Forehand of Eala, sorry. Huergo comes in with a forehand, but hits it wide. 15 all. Serve again from Huergo. By the way, Chad, I started watching Insomnia. Fell asleep. No, I didn't fall asleep. I was already tired. 15-0. It was good though. I was loving the start of it. And then I was like, I can't watch this and I don't want to fall asleep because I want to actually watch it. Don't give it away though, because I'm only just started. Literally just started. Where he where Pacino is investigating things. I've just started, so don't give. Yeah, it was really good. So I had to I'm falling asleep. I need to watch this movie before I need to watch this movie when I'm awake, because Nolan movies are great. I saw this awesome thing on Instagram as well. I'm not going to do this because I know I'll do it. There's a guy on Instagram that collects steel books, DVDs or Blu-rays, like the steel books. You know those, right? The covers. And he has a magnet wall, and he puts them on the wall like art, and he interchanges them. And I'm like, that's so good. Such a good idea. As Eala hits a winner 15-40. But also I don't want to get steel books because they're very expensive. But he's got 16 magnetic things on the wall, magnetic sheets on the wall, and then he puts the steelbook covers on the wall as art, and I'm like, that's so cool. And then he changes them around depending on the season. So now he put on a whole bunch of Halloween stuff, and I was like, oh man, this is such a good idea, but also it's very expensive and I don't want to do it. 15-40, but it's so cool. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like, I got to figure out how to do that for my house. But I don't have cool, I could just make my DVD shelf smaller. Anyways, backhand goes into the backhand of Eala. Backhand from Huergo, into the backhand again as Eala goes down the line with a forehand. And it goes in. There's the break. 3-2. Eala in the second. I thought that was such a cool idea. Never heard of a steelbook before. Really? Okay. Yeah, steelbooks are I've seen them in gaming, video games. I used to get I remember getting Batman Arkham Asylum, and it was in a steelbook case. It's just basically a metal DVD cover with really cool art on it. Different alternative art, different from the regular DVDs. But it's awesome. And yeah, and they stick to the wall. It was cool. That's so cool. What's his account? Let me check. I think it was Steelbook someone. He was American. I remember that. Steelbook obsessed. Steelbook obsessed. Yeah. Steelbook obsessed. All right. Eala with a set and a break. All right. 15 love. Huergo is pronounced Huergo in Portuguese, but she's Italian. As the return goes in from Huergo to the forehand of Eala. Eala comes in with a volley. Up goes a lob, but the lob goes long, and it's 30 love. 30 love. Love. As Eala serves again. She serves a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Eala. Eala's forehand down the line now. Huergo forehand goes cross court. Eala drop shot. Too good. 40 love. Fossa Huergo. It's 4-2 Eala. Huergo. All right. All right. Huergo. All right, 15 love. As we return now from Eala, Huergo forehand is out. 15-0. 15-0. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We have the women's semi-finals of the US Open coming up in an hour. 1 hour from now. So make sure you join us. Even if you're not a fan of the four ladies, come watch it. It's a big deal. What the US winning a Grand Slam. If you're a if you want to know more about tennis, you got to know who's won the slams. Oh man! And plus, the two matches tonight have potential to be epic. All right, 30-15. As Huergo serves again. A fault, second serve. Please stream US Open, not Eala always. I'm at the point now where I'm just going to do what I want. So I respect you, and we're going to watch the US Open, but I'm also going to watch other players too. So, I mean, if you are going to complain, it is what it is. 30-0. As Huergo serves again. And the return from Eala goes in. Huergo hits it down the line at the front of Eala. As Huergo forehand into the backhand again of Eala. Into the backhand of Huergo as we get a backhand out from Eala cross court. Huergo gets it back. And then a backhand again from Eala. Huergo forehand into the Eala backhand. Down the line's a winner from Eala. 30-40. 30-40. Eala to take the double break and serve for the match. Remember, Eala was down 4-1 in the first set. So a good fight back. $30-40. As the return goes in the forehand of Huergo, backing up from Eala as Huergo goes down the line. Eala forehand down the line again to the forehand of Huergo. In the back of Eala, Who hits another winner? 5-2. This is the quarterfinals. Semi-finals tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. But yeah. By the way, again, this isn't just about JP. There's other people that are also like complaining. We are watching Eala. It's not interrupting any other thing. We are literally just watching one match. The US Open is not going on right now. It starts in an hour. So we're not missing anything there. We're not paying less attention to that. I don't understand why 7 people come to every single Eala stream and just say, why are we watching her? I don't want to watch it. Why are you watching me watch her? Like, what do you want? Like, it doesn't take away from anything else. This doesn't. It's harmless. There's nothing going on right now in New York. They play in an hour. I do not understand. I do not understand. It makes no sense that you would be frustrated with me streaming a match that doesn't interrupt anything. It doesn't make sense. Like, I wish you wouldn't watch Eala. What? And what would I do then? Just do nothing? Then you wish that I would just sit around and wait for nothing? Like, what do you want? Like, what are you talking about? And don't pretend you're like, oh, I wish you would sleep more. Oh, I feel bad for your bat. No. Why do you not like her? Why do you want me to not watch her? I don't understand. 15 love. This is taking nothing away from anyone else except for maybe another match on the same, like maybe, I don't know, Arango who's playing right now. But like, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, that goes out by Eala, 15-0. Just trolls and haters? I don't think so, though, because it's coming from, like, members as well. And I'm like, why is this so bad that we're watching Eala? Did she do something really bad that I don't know about? Like, what are we doing? Like, why can't I watch Eala? Why can't I watch her matches? What's wrong? Why can't I do that? Is that illegal? Is that bad? What's wrong? Why can't I do it? It's not taking away from Sabalenka Pegula. That comes up in an hour. Is a winner by Eala and it's 30-15. It's just, I don't get it. Like, you have no reason to complain. There is you have zero reason. Nothing to complain about. And you also don't have to be here for this match. You can come back. It's okay. Backhand goes into the forehand of Huergo as Eala backhand down the line's a winner, 40-15. US Open is the only important thing in the world right now and must only be the focus for our entire attention. Thanks, goodbye. No, it doesn't. And no, it's not. Goodbye. That's crazy. That has no logic to it. Zero logic. That is a terrible argument. Zero doesn't make any sense. That because the US Open's on, we can't watch anything. Oh, you're being sarcastic? Well, it didn't really come across. Anyways, 40-15. Return from Huergo goes in the net. Eala wins. And guess what? We're watching her tomorrow as well. We're going to watch her play tomorrow. She's playing the semi-finals, and she gets the win. She played earlier today, and she's played another match. She was coming back from 4-1 down. All right. GG's. Now, who's she going to play? She's going to play Kayla Day. I feel like she played her already. Did she already play her? So Day versus Eala tomorrow. Now I tell you this now those 7 people are going to be really pissed. So tomorrow there is a chance that she is playing at the same time as the men's semifinals, but we'll still watch her. So too bad, because there's no rules. You must only watch this tournament. This match? What are you talking about? There's no rules. You're just making that rule up. But because Djokovic is playing, I know he's playing. We're going to watch him. You can't watch anything else. Well, we can. And I will if I have to. It's fine. Anyways. If you don't want to watch Eala, please don't come to the streams. Because I don't want you to come here and waste your time. You've been here for 2 hours and wasted 2 hours of your life. You could have done something productive. Come back when we watch the players you want to watch. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. No worries. If you are leaving, don't forget to subscribe on the way out. Eala's going to play Kayla Day tomorrow. Now Cam is trolling. No, you can't do that. You have to watch Grand Slams. Chad, I started this channel 7 years ago, and no one had done something like this in the tennis, on YouTube in tennis, right? So as far as I'm concerned, there are no rules. Because the only rule there is I can't show the match, because that's illegal. But other than that, there are no rules. There's no rule that US Open's on, nothing else matters. Yeah, nothing else does matter. But also there's other things happening, so we're going to watch those things too. If I want to. And I want to. So it is what it is. There's also rules that you don't have to watch everything I watch. That's also a thing. Like if I'm live, you don't have to watch it. That's okay too. I don't yell at you. I can't believe no one was here for, like, you guys don't have to be here for every match. It's okay. I'm not making you do anything. But when there's a lot of people watching the player, and there's a lot of people obviously interested in someone, I've got a job to do. So I'm going to watch Eala. And I also want to see her win her first title because now I'm invested because I've watched so much damn tennis that I want to see her rise. Woke up late? Oh, no. Well, we're watching tomorrow. Skip Djokovic. Watch Carlos. Oh, okay. So yeah, look, if you don't like me watching Eala, do everyone a favor and just come back for the matches you want me to watch. Because I tell you, if I just watched Eala and then pissed off and didn't watch anything else, I would understand. I would totally understand if I watched Eala and then didn't watch anything else and you came in here and you were like, what are you doing? How dare you? I could totally get that. But when I'm watching Eala and I'm watching Djokovic and I'm watching Swiatek and I'm watching Sabalenka and I'm watching mixed doubles and I'm watching all the other players I can watch humanly possible for one person to do, you have no reason to complain. There's zero complaints. You cannot make complaints. We're not accepting complaints at this time. It's crazy. All right. Well, I've seen it. It's woken the chat up. All the Eala fans are just like, yeah, get out of here. The Eala fans, yeah, don't take on the Eala fans. There's a lot of them. Do it at your own risk. Hey, Michelle, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Yeah, the chat's going crazy now. It's just ignited all the people that were like, yeah, we want to watch Eala. Exactly. Keep streaming Eala. We will support. Hey, I'm happy. Hey, look. I'm happy to keep watching. So, yeah, I don't know. The schedule's not out for tomorrow, so I don't know when she's playing tomorrow, but there is a chance that she plays during the Djokovic-Alcaraz match, which is okay. Again, we can do double headers. I don't like doing doubleheaders, but I will do a doubleheader. We've come this far. So we'll watch... because Guadalajara have been starting at the same time. Actually, you know what? I tell you what, if Guadalajara was smart, they'd put Eala on first tomorrow before Djokovic and Alcaraz starts. So that way, Alcaraz and Djokovic match doesn't get, there's no there's no need to do a doubleheader. But yeah, the schedule's not out yet for tomorrow. But I'm probably going to think that we're probably going to not get... Like, Eala's going to be the second match tomorrow just because she played so late today. So, yeah. So, most likely we're going to be watching Djokovic, Eala, and Alcaraz at the same time. But again, like I said, that's no problem. That's fine. That's fine. I'm ready to take all the shit that I'm going to get for it because it's just going to be inevitable. But I will say this, when we watch Djokovic, if we have to watch Djokovic and Alcaraz at the same time, we will watch Djokovic and Alcaraz. Djokovic and Alcaraz will be the focus. Eala's match will be on, but it's not going to be the focus if we do a doubleheader, right? Just like yesterday, right? We watched Swiatek and Eala at the same time. We watched Swiatek and Anisimova. That was the focus, but Eala was there, so we kept up to date with Eala as well. So the doubleheader was, again, just remember, I will say that. The world won't end if you don't stream one challenger match. Hey, Rarat. The world won't end if I do stream one challenger match. The world won't end if I do a doubleheader. So, back to you. The world won't end if I have to watch two matches at the same time. So don't worry. Why Eala spoke to the umpire yesterday? I don't know exactly why. I think it was something to do with her opponent not being ready in time for her to serve, and it was a little bit of... Because there was definitely... at the end of the first match today, there was definitely a little bit of fire between the two. So, yeah. I watch Raducanu sometimes. Nothing seems about her. Nothing seems... What? Brit people don't have enough of her, which is fine with me. I'm confused. This is your channel. It should be your rules. Well, I do my best to listen to everybody and try and... I mean, look, if I don't watch Eala, then there's a bunch of people that are going to be pissed off at that. If I do watch her, she's going to get... Well, there's another group that are going to be pissed at that. So it's like, well, at the end of the day, I'm not going to make everyone happy anyway. So I'm just going to do what I feel is right for everyone and everything. Seven years of commentary. Do you get a trophy for that? No. Definitely no trophies. Even Filipinas would watch Djokovic and Alcaraz, I guess. Yeah, we're going to watch both. Farad, I don't know why you're crying. We're going to watch both. It's okay. We're going to watch Djokovic. It's okay. He's going to be on the... He got to focus on that. But I'm also going to watch Eala. And if it's at the same time, it's at the same time. I don't create the schedule. Blame the tournament. No worries, Cynthia. Thanks for joining. Keep on doing what you're doing. Love it. I appreciate that. Anyways, we've got about 45 minutes until the semifinals of the US Open. And I know if we get there late, people are going to freak out. So we gotta go watch that. Hey, thanks Ron for the 5. Appreciate it.
Great win, Alex.
Danny, thank you for the 5 as well. Appreciate that.
Thank you for covering Eala. Nobody in the PH covers the matches like you do.
Thank you,
So
Wen.
I truly appreciate it.
And thank you, May, for the 2 and the nice words. Appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. That's very generous. No worries. Hey, look. You want to keep watching the Eala? We'll keep watching the Eala. I only watch you for Eala. There you go. All right. Sabalenka Pegula, that's coming up, so we need to lock in. If anybody asks me in that chat, in that stream, in like an hour and a half, an hour, why we watch Eala, it's going to be irrelevant. Chat's going to be fun tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's going to be real fun. It's always fun when Alcaraz and Djokovic play. For some reason, nobody fights, and it's really peaceful, and it's always so much fun, isn't it, Deb? It's always so chill. Alcaraz Djokovic streams are always so relaxing. Anyways, that's tomorrow. Today's today, and we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching the semi-finals for the ladies. Sabalenka's coming up first against Pegula in 45 minutes. I'll see you guys then. But Eala wins 7-6, 6-2. She's into the semi-finals, and she's going to take on Day tomorrow. And hopefully by the time we come back, we'll know when she's going to play. By the way, if you are leaving, or no, if you are an Eala fan and you're still here, why don't you stick around? Because we're going to be watching the US Open, and you might be fans. Again, this is part of the thing, right? You might come here for Eala, but my job is to get you to stay for the whole thing. So come back. And I know it's a morning in the Philippines, so maybe come back and watch the US Open in the morning before you go to work. And come hang out with us some more. But Eala wins semi-finals. Let's go to the US